verse 10. It said, they kept not the covenant of the Most High and refused to walk in his law. See? They kept not the covenant of the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, and refused to walk in his law, and forgot his works and his wonders that he had showed them. Marvelous things did he in the sight of their fathers in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zoan. You know? I'm going to read verse 19. No, verse 18. And they tempted the Most High while Mashiach Yahushua in their heart by asking meat for their lust. You say you're going to be able to bring flesh. Remember they missed the flesh that was in the pots in Egypt. And the bread to the full. See, yeah, they spake against the Most High while Mashiach Yahushua. They said, can the Most High while Mashiach Yahushua furnish a table in the wilderness? Behold, he smote the rock, that the waters gushed out, and the streams overflowed. Can he bring bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people? Doubting, doubting, doubting. Therefore, the Most High while Mashiach Yahushua heard this and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, meaning the 12 tribes of Israel. That's our forefather Jacob. And anger also came up against Israel, because they believed not in the Most High while Mashiach Yahushua and trusted not in his salvation. Though he had commanded the clouds from above and opened the doors of heaven and had rained down manna upon them to eat and had given them of the corn of heaven, man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. Remember he said he's going to give them quails a whole month. Till it was just coming out of their ears, coming out of their nostrils, he says. He caused an east wind to blow into heaven, and by his power he brought in the south wind. He rained flesh also upon them as dust, and feathered fowls, like as the sand of the sea. And he let it fall in the midst of their camp, round about his habitations. So they did eat, and were well filled. For he gave them their own desire, whatever they desired. They were not estranged from their lust, but while their meat was yet in their mouths, the wrath of the Most High came upon them and slew the fattest of them, the one that want to eat the most. Yeah, better watch out being fat. He slew the fattest of them and smote down the chosen men of Israel. For all this they sinned still and believed not for his wondrous works. Therefore their days did he consume in vanity, and their years in trouble. When he slew them, then they sought him. You hear that? When he killed us, then we sought after the Most High. Once again, when he slew them, then they sought him. And they returned and inquired early after the Most High. And they remembered that Mashiach Yahushua was their rock. You see this? And they remembered that a Mashiach Yahushua was their rock, and the high power, the Most High, their Redeemer. Israel, this how we are. I mean, this is, you understand when you read this, we read about ourselves. If you claim to be a Hebrew Israelite, it says 36, nevertheless, they did flatter him with their mouths, and they lied unto him with their tongues. For their heart, their mind was not right with him, neither were they steadfast in this covenant. But he, being full of compassion, forgave their iniquity. He forgave us and destroyed them not. Yeah, many a time turned he his anger away and did not stir up all his wrath. For remember that they were but flesh, a wind that passes away. Hear that? And cometh not again. See that? This flesh is here now, but it's like a wind that passes away and don't come back. This flesh ain't coming back at all. The flesh going right back to the dirt where it came from. The spirit go back to the Most High. Verse 40. How often did they provoke him him in the desert. Yeah, they turned back and tempted the Most High and limited the Holy One of Israel. Okay? So, these are the things that Israel kept doing over and over again. We just, giving you hindsight of what happened, because we had 40 years in the wilderness. We go into one particular time period in Exodus 16th chapter when we were in the wilderness. Now, going back to Exodus 16, and verse 28. I'll start at 27. Exodus 16 to 27. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the seventh day for to gather, and they found none, because he told them on the seventh day that he's not going to rain any manna down. And the Most High, Mashiach said unto Moses, how long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? See, for that the Most High, Mashiach, hath given you the Sabbath. Therefore he giveth you on the sixth day the bread of 2 days. You see that? On the sixth day, he gave us the bread of 2 days. This is how we're supposed to be living. We're supposed to be living so that fact when the Sabbath come in, you already have prepared what you're going to do for the Sabbath, thinking ahead, not just wait till the last minute, but you think ahead on the sixth day to have enough for the seventh day. So you don't have to cook. You don't have to, go out there and buy things on the Sabbath day. You already have that plan to keep it holy and to hallow it. It says, abide ye every man in his place, let no man go out of his place on the seventh day. So the people rested on the seventh day. They rested on the seventh day. And the house of Israel called the name thereof manna. And it was like coriander seed, white, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. Like wafers made with honey. And Moses said, this is the thing which the Most High Mashiach commanded, fill an omer of it to be kept for your generations, that they may see the bread wherewith I have fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you forth from the land of Egypt. He said, fill a homer, this vase, with this manna, that the children of Israel can look upon this and say, this is what the Most High fed us when we was in the wilderness. And Moses said unto Aaron, take a pot and put an omer full of manna. Omer is a certain measurement. Therein, and lay it up before the Most High, to be kept for your generations. To be kept for the generations. As the Most High, commanded Moses, so Aaron laid it up before the testimony to be kept. And the children of Israel did eat manna 40 years until they came to a man inhabited. They did eat manna until they came into the borders of the land of Canaan, which would represent Israel today. Now, an omer is the 10th part of an ephah. So, any questions within that chapter? Some things you can research to find out. But it's pretty self-explanatory, you know. 1 4/5 carbs, or 4 United States dry pints. It's like 4 pints, which represents a quart. It's about a quart. A homer is like a quart. Ephah contains 10 homers, or 3/5 United States bushel. So 10 homers would be 10 quarts. An homer is 4 United States dry pints, which represents a quart. So it'd be 10 quarts. That's the ephah. For the Israel to look upon for the journeys to come, he said. Let's continue. Numbers, the 17th chapter. Verse 1. And all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin after their journeys, according to the commandment of the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, and pitched in Rephidim. And there was no water for the people to drink. No water for the people to drink. Wherefore the people did side with Moses. I mean, it was going back and forth, talking crap to Moses. And said, give us water that we may drink. And Moses said unto them, why chide ye with me? Wherefore do ye tempt the Most High? And the people thirsted there for water. And the people murmured against Moses and said, wherefore is this, that thou hast brought us up out of Egypt to kill us, or our children and our cattle with thirst? And Moses cried unto the Most High, saying, what shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me. And the Most High said unto Moses, go on before the people and take with thee of the elders of Israel, that's 70 men, and thy rod, wherewith thou smotest the river, take in thine hand and go. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb. And thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. And he called the name of the place Massah and Meribah, because of the chiding of the children of Israel, and because they tempted the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua is saying, is the Most High among us or not? Wow. Now Israel would be. That's why we was going on rebellious Israelites last night. Can't tell them nothing. They won't be told nothing. Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. Amalek is Esau's illegitimate grandson. Let me prove it. We're going to go to Genesis, the 36th chapter, and it represents the so-called Jewish people today. Genesis 36:1. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Okay? And it goes on to tell the lineage of Esau. So Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Adah, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite, and Aholibamah, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon, the Hittite. So he had wives. And Bathsheba, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Jebathsaph, and Adah bare to Esau Eliphaz, and Bathshemath bare Ruel. So I just want to look at Eliphaz and stop there, but still going, down the line, giving his lineage. We're going to get right to the point of who Amalek is. We're going to go to verse 12 of Genesis 36 chapter. This is the forefather of the Jewish people today. It says, and Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, who Adah bare to Esau Eliphaz. That was his mom. Now Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son. It's like a girlfriend, a sidekick. And she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. These were the sons of Adah, Esau's wife. So Eliphaz was the son of Esau, and Adah was his mother. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, who had Amalek. But if you look at the rest of generations and the children, the biological children of Esau, they're not considered concubines. Good wives. So let's go back to Exodus 17 and 8. It says, then came Amalek, who was Esau's grandson, who represent the so-called Jewish people today, and fought with Israel in Rephidim. See, there's a history that we have with Amalek too, that you see Amalek's coming to fight with Israel. Come up against us. Verse 8 again, then came Amalek and fought with Israel and Rephidim. Okay? Also, when we came out of Egypt, this happened. Get Deuteronomy 25, and we're going to start at verse 17. Deuteronomy 25 and 17. So the things that we're going to read about, let me read it first, then we'll come back there. We're going to come back there. So Exodus 17 and 8, again, it says, then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out men, and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of the Most High, and the Mashiach Yahushua in mine hand. So Joshua did as Moses had said to him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. So Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill as Joshua, who was a mighty warrior, fought against Amalek. He's young. And it came to pass, when Moses held up his hand, that Israel prevailed. When he held up his hand, Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. So long as he had his hand up, we won. If he let his hand down, Amalek was kicking our butt. Verse 12. But Moses' hands were heavy. Big dude. Moses' hands were heavy. And they took a stone and put it under him. And he sat thereon. So he sat on this stone. And Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, the one on the one side and the other on the other side. So Aaron was on this side and Hur was on the other side, holding up Moses' hands. They were heavy. And his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. So they had to hold his hands up all that time. Now we were in battle with Amalek. And Joshua just comforted Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. He whooped them with the edge of the sword. And the Most High said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Wow. So you're going to put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Jehovah Nissi. For he said, listen what he said, because the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, has sworn, now this is what the Most High swore, that the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. That's why I know there'll be no peace over there in the Middle East. The Most High swore this. Who could break the vow of the Most High? For he said, because the Most High has sworn it, the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And look, when you look at, call it however you want to call it. Let's go to Psalms 83rd chapter. And it's no different here than it is now. How they separate themselves from their father, Esau. And that's who they are. Psalm 83. Keep not thy silence, O Most High, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Most High, for lo, thine enemies, so the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua have enemies, make a turmoil, they make an uproar. And they that hate these nations hate the Most High, have lifted up their head. That means they're prideful. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. This is what we're dealing with today. That's why it's so hard for us to come back to who we are, to our heritage, being an Israelite. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And that's what we're dealing with now. That's why we don't know who we are. That's what these nations done. For they are consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, they're confederate against the Most High. Who are they? The tabernacles of Edom, so-called white men. Ishmaelites, the Arabs, of Moab, the Chinese, of Hagarenes, Africans, Gebal, more Arabs, and Ammon, indigenous Japanese, and Amalek. See, that's why we're here, because it said Amalek. That's Esau's grandson. Illegitimate, as it would call today, grandson. The Philistines, who are the Egyptians or more Hamites or Africans, and the inhabitants of Tyre. More Africans. Ashur, the Syrians, also is joined with them. So all these nations are the enemies of the Most High. Now let's go to Deuteronomy 25 and 17. It says, remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way, when you were come forth out of Egypt. How he met thee by the way, and smote the hindmost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou wast faint and weary, and he feared not the Most High. Therefore it shall be, when the Most High thy power have given thee rest from all thine enemies round about, and in the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee for inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Thou shalt not forget it. Hear that? And he said, never forget. Most High said, we shall never forget. And we should blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Thou shalt not forget it. That's what he said. Going back to Exodus 18, the 17th chapter, verse 16 again. For he said, because the Most High, who's more powerful than the Most High? Nothing. No entity. Because the Most High has sworn that the Most High will have war, not peace, but war with Amalek from generation to generation. So how you get peace out of that? So you're going to have war with them from generation to generation. And we in a generation now, and we see that what's over there in the Middle East, over in the land of Israel? Nothing but war. I mean, the Arabs, they throwing rocks at tanks. That's how angry they are. They're doing their bombings and so forth. It's war, continual war. Because the Most High said He gonna have war with them. He said, never forget what they did when we came out of the land of Egypt. Now, Exodus the 18th chapter, verse 1. When Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard of all that the Most High, Mashiach had done for Moses and for Israel, his people, and that the Most High had brought Israel out of Egypt, then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her back, and her 2 sons, of which the name of the one was Gershom, for he said, I have been an alien in a strange land. And the name of the other was Eleazar, for the Most High, the power of my father, said he, was mine help, and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, came with his sons and his wife unto Moses into the wilderness, where he encamped at the mount of the Most High. So Jethro came to Moses. Jethro is Moses' father-in-law. Moses is married to his daughter. And he said unto Moses, I, thy father-in-law Jethro, am come unto thee, and thy wife, and her 2 sons with her. And Moses went out to meet his father-in-law, and did obeisance. He obeyed him and kissed him. And they asked each other of their welfare. And they came into the tent. How you been doing? And Moses told his father-in-law all that the Most High Mashiach had done unto Pharaoh, and to the Egyptians for Israel's sake, and all the travail that had come upon them by the way, and how the Most High Mashiach delivered them. And Jethro rejoiced for all the goodness which the Most High Mashiach had done to Israel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Jethro said, Blessed be the Most High, for who hath delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians. Excuse me, who have delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, who hath delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that the Most High is greater than all idols. For in the thing wherein they dealt proudly, he was above them. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took a burnt offering and sacrifices for the Most High. And Aaron came, and all the elders of Israel, to eat bread with Moses' father-in-law before the Most High. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people. And the people stood by Moses from morning unto the evening. So all the people coming to Moses by himself. And he stood there from morning all the way to the evening, judging the children of Israel. And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, what is this thing that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone, and all the people stand by thee from morning until evening? You know? So why are you doing this? Why you got all these people come to you from morning all the way to the evening? And Moses said unto his father-in-law, because the people come unto me to inquire of the Most High. When they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another. And I do make them know the statutes of the Most High, and his laws. And Moses' father-in-law said unto him, the thing that thou doest is not good, man. What you're doing is not good. It's not a good thing you're doing.